Now, finally, you are very serious about applying for graduate school. You want to find the specific programs. How do you do that? My suggestion is following these three simple steps. The first one is that you need to choose the subfield you would like to get in. So, for example, I find social psychology is the most appealing to me. The second step is you need to get two books. The first book is Getting In, a step-by-step plan for gaining admission to graduate school in psychology. I suggest you get this book in the beginning of your junior year. This is the cover. It has all the instructions and timeline for you to follow. It's really helpful. The second book you need to get is called Graduate Study in Psychology, 2018. This is the cover. Now it has all the information for every single graduate programs in North America. The legit programs anyway. So that means even schools in Canada. Right. And because it's renewed every year, so you want to get the most updated version. So for example, if you want to get admitted in 2019 fall, then you probably want to get the 2018 edition. Of course, if you want to get into graduate school in 2020 fall, you need to get a 2019 edition. Now, I want to talk a little bit further about some critical information in this graduate study in psychology. First, acceptance rate. Okay, so you can take a look at how competitive a program is by looking at this acceptance rate. Also, admission requirement. It has all the information, for example, like is GRE required in this program? What is the median GRE scores for people who are admitted? Median GPA for those who are admitted, and other criteria like is how important is recommendation letter? How important is personal statement, which is an essay usually is about only 800, 900 words that they want you to write, and no more. If you write more, they are not going to read it. And this essay, you are supposed to talk about yourself and why you want to apply to that program. And you need to prepare early. Okay. Or is GRE important? In this book, it also talks about the program's financial aid. And usually financial aid in graduate school is in the form of teaching or research assistantship. So it will tell you if a teaching or research assistantship is available for this program. How much is the tuition waiver? Because if you have a teaching or research assistantship, usually they provide tuition waiver, either full or partial. If you get a full tuition waiver, that means that you don't have to pay the dime. And you guessed it right, that was the assistantship I got. I was a teaching assistant. And not only that, they also pay you. Okay, but it varies from school to school. So some schools, even for teaching assistantship, they only offer partial waiver. Now, with a partial waiver, that means that you have to pay in-state tuition. So, for example, you are the resident of New Mexico State and you go to Kansas to study. Usually, the charge will be like $10,000 or $20,000. But if you get a partial tuition waiver, you only have to pay like 5 or 6,000. Okay, in-state tuition, as you know, is much cheaper. Most schools, regional schools, they offer this kind of assistantships as well. Probably the pay is not as much. Also, a very important piece of information is employment records. Okay, they also show you the percentage of their graduates finding jobs within 6 months or maybe a year. Those are the pieces of important information I mentioned, but there are a lot more information in this book. You want to take a look. So it's very important for you to get this book. The third step, you choose the specific programs from the graduate study in psychology. So in the back of this book, it organized all the different disciplines into different categories. So for example, I was into social psychology. So I checked the category of social psychology. I pretty much went through every single program to see which one really fit my needs. First, you need to be honest with yourself. Evaluate yourself honestly. How's my GPA? How's my GRE? Will I get good recommendation letters? Did I work hard enough to impress my professors to write good letters for me? How strong is my research experience? And then from this list of those programs, you find the programs that might fit you. Alright, what programs do I have a chance to get in? What programs fit my levels, fit my needs? I would suggest that if possible, you choose roughly about 9 programs to apply. When I applied for graduate school, for some reason, I only applied 3. That's really, really risky. And indeed, I was rejected by 2. You don't want to make the mistake. Among these 9 programs, I would suggest that you have 3 dream programs. If you are admitted, you'll be thrilled. And the middle 3 is the programs you think you have a good chance to get in. And then the bottom 3 are the easiest programs you for sure you will get in, and you can also live with it. Finally, you have specific programs in your mind. Go to their website and start applying. Also, I want to talk about one extra step for you to maximize your chance to get in. First, you go to the program's website, the graduate school's program's website, and read the faculty's research interest. And find 1 or 2 faculty's research that you find interesting. It might be a good fit to your research. Now, if you have research experience, that means that you probably have presented your poster in a conference. And this poster probably saved as a PDF. You have to send the faculty this poster PDF file. Or better yet, if you have manuscript or even publication, send the faculty those writing samples. Okay. Now, of course, you need to make sure your manuscript or poster PDF file, whatever writing sample is in the very best shape, free from any error. Otherwise, it will backfire really, really badly. Now, why would this step help? Because you have to understand the graduate school admission process. Usually, all the faculties will sit together and select the students who fit their research programs. So they go through this students' applications one by one, and they find somebody have a research experience and the interests come fit their needs. Then they will pick up that student. The point is, the faculty in graduate schools, they are looking for students who match their research interest and are already well trained in the research, so they don't have to teach them from the scratch, from the beginning. Okay, that would be the waste of time. Again, that is why research experience is so important. What about without any research experience? Some regional universities, colleges might not emphasize research as much as we have mentioned already. Again, you want to check the book in a graduate study in psychology or contact them for further information. As I said, I have to go back to this. Good regional schools, even though the majors are more hands-on like counseling, therapy, they might still want to see your research experience. Even though when you get into the program, you might not do a lot of research. They want to make sure you understand some basic concepts. So there are some specialized schools. Actually, I have a student in Santa Fe majoring in art therapy. I'm not very familiar with this kind of schools. I know some people with this kind of degrees are practicing. But how useful is it, especially if you go somewhere else? I'm not so sure. You probably need to do your own investigation. One more thing is some regional universities, they have this called general psychology master degree. Actually, that was what I get when I was in Pittsburgh State University. And I got good grades. I guess that impressed Kansas State a little bit. It might be a stepping stone. But on the other hand, though, I still need to emphasize when I graduated with a bachelor, I already have some research experience. I have a poster and a publication in the student journal. All in all, research experience is quite important.